currently here in Houston, Texas, and I'm just, riding home from a funeral. But I thought I'd stop by to just kind of drop off a few things real quick that would help you out. I know there's a lot of us out here who are making our way to actualize our dreams and actualize our goals, and I just want to drop off a little nugget today that would help you do just that. This nugget today is actually what I used to bring in to sponsor 8 people in the last 7 days after struggling for months, right? So here's how to, if you want to know how to build your list fast, if you want to know how to build your business fast, because see, it's not about building, it's not about how big your list is. That's not what it is. But it's really how many people are listening to you. When you talk, how many people actually listen? And so today I just want to talk real briefly about how to get you to the point where people are listening to you, where people are looking forward to your emails, looking forward to your blog posts, looking forward to your new content, and looking forward to joining you, right? So if you listen for the rest of this video, it's not going to be long, but if you listen for the rest throughout this video, what I'm going to show you is I'm going to show you what you're going to learn today is you're going to learn how to literally create buzz around your name in everyone else's mouth as far as leadership goes. You're going to learn how to literally, and I don't know why I keep saying literally, you're going to learn how to position yourself in front of hungry people hungry buyers who are looking for exactly what you have with their credit card in hand, right? You're going to learn today through four principles. You're going to learn how to have people begging to work with you instead of you begging to work with them. Let me ask you something. How much better would your business be if you had people begging to work with you instead of you begging to work with them? If you had people convincing you that you are the one that they need to lead them, as opposed to you convincing them that you have the perfect business for them, how much more effective, how much more income do you think you would be making if you had people that you were looking for you? Well, that's what I'm going to talk about today. And so first of all, I want to let you know that there is a way to go about becoming that, and it's not that hard, and it begins in the mind, it begins in the direction of our thinking, and it is something that this isn't something that comes after you've made a lot of money. But you actually make a lot of money after you have picked up these thoughts. So if you haven't been successful at all, if you're just an average guy, I want to let you know that this type of thinking is what literally caused 8 people to join me in the last 7 days. Now you might be thinking to yourself, 8 people, that's nothing. Well, let me tell you something. It's almost like a light switch. It's a light switch. You turn it on. See, change is not something that happens over time. Change happens immediately, because change comes with action. The moment I leave my house, I've changed my location, even if I'm just in the driveway, right? And I know where I'm going, and eventually I'm going to get there. That's how fast change is. Change happens the moment we decide to act on what it is that we believe, and belief results in action. So belief is important. So write that down. The first thing, belief is important. I know you've heard that so many times. Belief is important. Belief is so important. You have to believe that no matter where you are now, where you're going has nothing to do with it, right? No matter where you are now, where you're going has nothing to do with it. what it is you're aiming for has nothing to do with where you are or where you've been. I don't care if you have failed more times than you've tried. You can still win today. And today, if you take into action these things that we're talking about today, then you'll see a difference. So here's what the first deal is. The first deal is you want to make sure that and it's what I call the list approach. You want to make sure that you're learning something every day. Well, how do I learn something every day? There are plenty of books, there's books about positive thinking, there's books of personal development that you can read 15 to 20 to 30 minutes every single day. And what happens is your mind begins to receive all of the different ingredients that it takes to actually decide to become successful. Because success is a decision, it's not a goal. So many of us have never made it to be successful because we've set it as a goal. Success is a decision. It's something that we decide to become. It's something that we decide to become successful. See, the moment you decide to become successful, then success is yours and everything else happens. Okay, so you want to learn something every single day. Now watch this. Learning something, it doesn't have to be something phenomenal. It doesn't have to be something huge. It doesn't have to be something super enormous. It doesn't have to be great. It doesn't have to be science. It doesn't have to be brain surgery kind of stuff, right? You don't have to be a brain surgeon. You don't have to, In other words, the information, the moment that you get your first aha, I don't care when that aha comes, then you've learned it and you're ready for the next step, which is I is you want to immediately implement what you've learned. What do you mean by that, Joe? Well, you want to learned action or learned information is no good if you only use it to archive. And many of us, we archive the information that we have. We store it up. And so we know all these awesome things. We know all these things theoretically. We know how to make $1 million 145 times theoretically in 30 minutes because we have all the information, but we've never implemented any of it. So that's why you don't want to spend your time learning too much at one time. Now, you always want to learn, but the reason why we say read for 20 minutes, read for 30 minutes is because after you've read, then you want to go implement something that you've learned, right? You want to go implement that. Add that to your income producing activities. Add what it is that you've learned. I don't care if it's as small as putting an REL no follow. And there's a lot of people that probably has no idea what I just said. Guess what? You learned something, or you will eventually. REL no follow. I don't care if it's that small. If it's just tracing a link back to make sure the link stays in your post as opposed to going to the other post. Implement that very moment, because once you've done that, and here's the thing, never underestimate what it is that you've learned, the value of what you've learned, because if it was important enough to move you any closer to your goals, then it's good enough to implement, right? If it was something it was good enough to implement then. If it was good enough for you to go, oh man, I never thought about that. Wow, I'm gonna use that. Well, guess what? Use that. Right there, pause the tape, or not the tape, because nobody uses tapes anymore. Pause the video, close the book, put a bookmarker in there, pause the CD or the MP3, whatever it is, and immediately begin to implement whatever it is that you've learned there. You want to learn every day, but then you want to implement what you've learned. And then once you implement what you learn, then you're ready for the S, and that is share it with your peers. Share it with your camaraderies. Share it with your contemporaries. And here's the reason why sharing, because a lot of, in our space, it's funny how stingy people can be and how secretive people can be. Well, I don't want to tell everybody this, because if I tell everybody this, then then they're all going to be doing it. It's not going to work anymore. But let me tell you something. You'll never get anywhere thinking like that, because that is a thought of lack. That's a thought of can't. That's a thought of inability and inadequacy. And thoughts become things. So that means that you will be able to can't. Right? And I know that probably is not, I know that's not good grammar, but that's definitely good teaching right there. You will only be able to can't, because you're thinking that you can't. That's all you'll ever be able to do is can't. So share it. And here's why you want to share it. Because if you have learned this particular deal, if you've learned this information and you're willing to give it away, see, this is what you've learned. This is what you're good at. This is what you're good for. There are plenty of people now who don't have what you have, but they also have what you don't. So what you want to do is you want to share. You'll never be disappointed when someone comes that you've shared this with, and they share something with you. They share something with you that you needed. So you learn it, immediately implement it, share it with your peers, your peers, your contemporaries, those who you hang around with, and then teach it to your students. Because since you're taking action, you're now becoming a leader, and there are those who will follow you. It doesn't take long to come to this conclusion. It doesn't take long to come to this type of mindset, and so it doesn't take long to become a leader. Learn it, implement it, share it, teach it. Teach it through a blog, teach it through a webinar, teach it through a PowerPoint. Teach it however you're going to teach it, but teach it. You want to teach it, and then watch your team grow, watch your income grow, or watch your list grow, watch your team grow, and watch your income grow. I hope this helped you out, and I will see you next time, and we'll talk again real soon. God bless.